All right, everybody, I am back with a brand new DC update. And we're going to look at a couple of things today. Well, more than a couple. I've got all the photos to show, but we're going to look at two main things today, and that is going to be how Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom is performing at the box office. And what do you guys think? Do you think it's good? Do you think it's bad? I can't even say that without laughing. We're going to look at how it is performing at the box office. And we're also going to take a look at some comments that James Gunn has made in regards to Superman Legacy, its filming, and other characters in the movie. So we're going to look at everything in the order that I grabbed the photos in. So let's get started. So the first photo I have here, somebody asked James Gunn directly, and I don't know why he responds to these people, but he says, which other hero are you especially excited for audiences to see in Superman Legacy? I'm excited to see how everyone fits into the movie. So everybody's realizing there's a lot of freaking characters in this movie. Now, it would have been nice for James Gunn to reply, it's a Superman movie, that's who I'm most excited for people to see. Instead, he responds with Mr. Terrific, which tells me he's going to be a big focus in the movie. And it should be first and foremost a Superman movie, and that's where the focus needs to stay. So I thought this was kind of funny. This comes from comicbookmovie.com. Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom first reviews surface. Is it a good movie? Not at all. And yeah, they turned it into a comedy like they've done for the last 3 DC films. And it's very, very unfortunate that this is, how they did this. We got comedy with Shazam 2. We got comedy with Blue Beetle. We got a comedy with The Flash. And now we've got a comedy with Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. It's just so unfortunate that this is the route they've decided to make everything a comedy. Now, I thought this was interesting. It is being reported that the real reason Ben Affleck quit the role of Batman was because of high tensions between Warner Brothers Pictures executives, Joss Whedon, Geoff Johns, and the controversial firing of Zack Snyder. It's also reported that he was denied having Zack direct his Batman movie. And if this report is true, which I expect it probably is, but I don't know for certain, the studio has had this thing against Zack Snyder. And I'm sorry, but that Batman versus Superman warehouse scene is the best Batman scene that has ever been filmed and probably will ever be filmed. And it was not CGI. It was almost all practical effects. I've seen the making of that scene. It's pretty phenomenal stuff. And yes, I think above all else, Zack Snyder should be directing a Batman movie after that, more so than a Superman film. So it's really unfortunate, everything that happened. And Geoff Johns and Joss Whedon, everything that has come out about these guys, it's just crazy how they abuse the actors and everything else on these sets. And yeah, it's just... So Ben Affleck didn't want to leave. It's just he wasn't meshing with what Warner Brothers was doing. And it's just crazy how they turned their back on all the good stuff that we could have gotten. Now, this comes from Collider.com, and I don't know how accurate this is, but it says Zack Snyder expressed interest in continuing his Snyderverse on Netflix if given the opportunity, and Netflix president Scott Stuber is open to it. Zack Snyder's complicated DCEU plans included Superman's son and a Lex Luthor Riddler team-up. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but that would be interesting. So there was some more information released about what happened with Henry Cavill and his firing, and it says apparently when Henry Cavill was scheduled to come back to DC, Zaslav himself and Warner Brothers execs offered him a written contingent deal that would guarantee him multiple movies and cameos, but Warner Brothers Pictures did not seal the deal, and then stabbed him and every fan in the back just a few months later. Now, Wayne T. Carr was going to play Green Lantern in Zack Snyder's Justice League. And, it's funny because this is the exact sentiment. He shared this, and I had to take a screenshot of this. And I'm going to remind people of this on occasion because this is exactly the truth. Everyone puts so much weight on critics' reviews, and we already know that Rotten Tomatoes has been compromised, and that a lot of those reviews are biased and not true reviews of films on both the critic side and also the audience. But at the same time, I know here in the U.S., I know in other parts of the world it's different, but here in the U.S., they always show the critic score first when they promote movies on Amazon, on Vudu, anywhere else. They always do the critic score first, and you have to go digging looking for the audience score. And this is, critics don't pay for the tickets. And someone said, Wayne T. Carr actually shared this post, and someone said, if you're a director and you make movies hoping it pleases critics, you are corny as hell. And it's true. And Wayne T. Carr said this and gave a thumbs up and shared it. And I share that sentiment 100%. And this is why Rebel Moon is successful on Netflix, because Zack Snyder made that movie for the fans. All right, so Variety posted about recent box office preview grosses for recent DC Universe films. And we're going to see where Aquaman fell in here. The Flash made $9.7 million on its Thursday previews. Black Adam made $7.6 million. Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom made $4.5 million, almost half of what Black Adam did. Shazam! Fury of the Gods was even lower at $3.4 million, and Blue Beetle was at $3.3 million. It's pretty crazy when you put it all into perspective. Like I said, before, people started to come back with Black Adam, but they stabbed everybody in the back, and the box office has suffered because of it. So this comes from Screen Rant. Superman Legacy director James Gunn revealed a sketch, and attentive fans edited the brightness to reveal text confirming the Fortress of Solitude. In the same vein as Batman's Batcave, the fortress contains many trophies from Superman's adventures. It can finally be his own Batcave, the Fortress of Solitude seemingly confirmed for Superman Legacy. All right, and that comes directly from James Gunn. We already figured that the Fortress of Solitude would be in the movie, but to what extent, if they do have trophies in there, that would be cool. All right, more Superman Legacy news. In response to a rumored logline and filming schedule, director James Gunn has taken to his official Threads account to confirm that filming for Superman Legacy will officially begin in March 2024. So we're a few short months away from Superman Legacy actually filming. And I will be covering everything in regards to Superman Legacy as it gets released. And if I post spoilers, I will let you guys know ahead of time in the video that I might be posting spoilers so you guys won't be spoiled. But I want to know as much about this movie as I possibly can, and I want to see costumes, details. I'm going to be putting this movie under a microscope, and so I will be covering everything in regards to Superman Legacy moving forward. Now, this is very sad. A new report claims Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom is set for a disappointing box office, lower than the Marvels. Think about that, guys. Lower than the Marvels. And the Marvels was the worst movie that I saw this year. Aquaman is definitely better than the Marvels. Aquaman actually has a really good story to it, but the execution was flawed. Jason Momoa is playing Jason Momoa. He was not playing Aquaman. In fact, he is definitely not the character that was started with Zack Snyder. He was a goofy goofball in the film, and the one time he gets kind of serious at the very end, they end it with a joke, which is a signature James Gunn move. And I have a feeling that that's something James Gunn added in at the last minute. And it's sad that they've done this because the story is really good, but the CGI and the acting, turning it into a comedy, the first one was not a comedy. It did have some comedy in it, but it was not a comedy. And it's really crazy to go from a $1.2 billion film to this. People are tired of the comedy in the superhero films. So this is interesting. DC Film News wrote something, and then James Gunn came in and made a comment about it. DC Film News reported, a plot synopsis for James Gunn's Superman Legacy has been revealed. A logline has been issued. Superman, a cub reporter in Metropolis, embarks on a journey to reconcile his Kryptonian heritage with his human upbringing as Clark. James Gunn chimed in and said, "Not sure where this logline came from. I didn't write it. It has elements of truth, obviously based on things I've said in the past. But I wouldn't describe the plot this way, and I wouldn't call Clark a Cub reporter. He's a 30-year-old full-on reporter. But yeah, we shoot in March. I'm grateful every day for our production team. They've worked their asses off to keep things going through the strikes. Forces impelled us to stop many times. And if we had, we'd never make it. We'd never make the July 2025. But they are going to make it because they do start filming in March. But they're going to have to shoot it very quickly, and I just don't think the special effects will be up to snuff." Now, this directly contradicts some stuff that James Gunn has said in the past. They said they got rid of Henry Cavill because he was too old. They easily could have done this with Henry Cavill in the role, but it's becoming increasingly clear that they wanted to wipe the slate clean, that this is not really just another branch of, the ultimate DC extended universe, but this is its own thing, and they're going to be doing their own thing, not tied to anything that has come in the past, because they haven't done anything in any of these past 4 films to say that this was all going to connect. So I think this is going to be a completely separate thing, not even tied in to the multiverse at all. But we'll see when it finally does get released. All right, guys, so there's my last DC update before Christmas. I will not have another update. There are plenty of things you can go through on my profile. Go into some of those, the different titles. I have different categories of different types of videos. You can go in and look at stuff from a long time ago and look at some movie reviews. If you haven't checked out my movie reviews, that's mainly what my channel will be at some point. I'm still going to carry all of the DC stuff and all of the Rebel Moon stuff, but I'm going to be doing a lot more movie reviews, a lot more coming up very shortly. All right, I do appreciate the support. We will see you guys on the flip side.